So today I want to talk about four, five, six, seven things that highly successful people do. I want to talk about why you may or may not be successful. Now, let's be very, very clear when we talk about success, y'all. And I hope you all have time to listen to this. It's not going to be long. Let's redefine what success is. When I say success, we always talk about, like, when we think about success, y'all, we got, especially in our community, we got to kind of change what our definition of success is. All right. What I mean by that is this: an NBA player, an NFL player, an entertainer, they are not the catalyst. They're not the standard of success. Let me say that. They are not the standard of success. You have principles that are, listen, you have principles, that's success. You have judges and lawyers, doctors, that's success. Your sister, brother, parents, successful, people who have gone through process, people who have developed, people who have, they have been consistent and they have achieved a certain level of success beyond their upbringing or their environment. So we have to redefine success. We never talk about successful parents. We never talk about people who have committed themselves. You know, do y'all notice that we always give a lot of credit to people who are in the limelight, but we never give credit to people who raise phenomenal children? And we don't call them successful. We just say, "Oh, happy Mother's Day," and that's it. And we say, "Oh, and let's not even talk about Father's Day. In a couple of weeks, we're going to celebrate Father's Day, and no one is going to dress up and no one is going to do those things." But there are a lot of successful fathers, committed, dedicated, and it takes a certain level of principles to be able to do something for a long period of time without quitting. And that's the story. The story is, many of us will not be successful because we don't know how to stick to something for a long period of time. You know that you are immature when you say this. Hear me, y'all. As I have become an adult, I am almost that age, right? I'm almost that age. Yesterday, I've been out of high school 19 years. I had a moment of reflection. It took me back. I reflected on life, and I reflected on the things that I've done, mistakes I've made, people who have come and gone, A, B, C, and D. And one of the things that I thought about this morning is I have not said these two words in a very, very long time, almost probably since I've been, in high school of some sort. I've never said I'm bored. When I say that, I haven't said that in a very long time, because the older you get, you value nothing. You value having a moment of nothing, having a moment to do nothing, because to do nothing is to do something. As you mature and get older, you don't just scuffle and you don't just look for things to do. Your life becomes more meaningful, etc. So nevertheless, I want to say this to you, that many of us will not be successful because we will not consistently do something for a long period of time until it reaches a certain amount of results, or a certain result. And so I want to give you several things that highly successful people do. Number one, I want you to write this down. Stop being realistic. People who are always realistic, they probably don't think big. If you want to be successful, you cannot think realistically. Hear me. What I mean by that, hear the spirit and the attitude of what I'm saying. That if you're always realistic, you will not go beyond your current circumstance. Hear me. It's almost like this. If you're always realistic, I guarantee you, if you're a person of faith, you don't have faith at all. If you're always realistic, you probably don't have faith. And this is why people don't see results, because they don't see impossibilities being possible. Man, come on. That if you're going to be successful, the first thing you have to wrap your mind around is that you're going to do something that there is no evidence that you can accomplish it. What? That if you're going to be successful, the first thing you need to wrap your mind around is that you're going to accomplish something, that you're going to do and be something that there is no evidence that you could actually do it. Man, I had no evidence that I could do. Hear me. All my life, I've been a dreamer, and what I wanted, I did not see around me. I feel that. Hear me, my dad told me, you've always been a big dreamer, but there was no evidence around me. Hear me, the dreams I had, I didn't know anybody that had accomplished it. I couldn't call anybody. What I envisioned for my life, I did not see around me. It wasn't realistic based upon my current circumstances. You will never become great if you live, it's okay to visit reality. We understand that there is a reality, but if you're going to be successful, you need to establish some dreams and some goals that are to the natural mind, to your family. And we like that. We just automatically assume our family and friends are going to support us. Who told us that? That's an unrealistic expectation, to think that just because we're blood that we can see and dream and envision a future that God gave you. Hear me, y'all. If you're a person of scripture, you understand that when Joseph told his family about the dreams, they totally rejected that. That's enough right there. Jesus' family said, no, you are not that. How are you calling yourself the Messiah? So where do we get this idea that our family, they are supposed to see everything that God gave us? If they're supposed to agree with it, God would have gave it to all of us, but God gave it to you. So what that means is there are things that you will envision for your life that people who love you may not agree with, not because they hate you, but because God gave it to you, not to them. And if you're going to be successful, you have to establish things in your life that it's just impossible based upon the reality. It's impossible to obtain. And that's what keeps you waking up in the morning, believing that there is something greater to live for. Number two. Get this, you all. You need to set goals. You need to set short-term and long-term goals. Successful people have goals. Now, you've heard that before, like, yeah, set goals, but you'll be surprised how many people don't have goals. Get this. You do not have a goal if it's not written down. Write the vision. There's something that happens psychologically. There's something that happens in the atmosphere. If I were talking to a secular audience, there's something that happens in the universe that when you write it down, it starts to become established. It means when you write it down, get this, and I'm not even talking about typing it down. I'm talking about there's something that happens when a pen or a pencil hits a piece of paper. It's literally like the words, they start to come alive in the atmosphere, in the spirit realm, and it starts working. Hear me. If you have not, I don't trust anyone that has a goal that they've not written down. You know why? Because when you don't have it written down, anything can come and alter that. But when you have it written down, it's a decree, not a declaration. That means it is established. Come on, y'all. Everybody can declare, that's saying it, but very few people, get this, have the intellect to decree it. It's written down. I have it in my phone. I have it in my notepad. And the older you get, you understand the seriousness and the importance of writing things down. Come on, y'all. So hear me. You need to have goals. I'm not talking about being able to talk about what you want to do. There are a lot of people in prison and there are a lot of people in the grave that had things they wanted to do. They talked about things they want to do. Hear me very carefully, but what have you taken the time to write down? And it takes quiet time and it takes reflection to be able to say, I'm serious enough about my life to write it down. I need goals. I need short-term goals. Short-term goals, get this, they give you the confidence to endure the process of long-term goals. So hear me very carefully. Hear me. This is me. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me. I know what I want my life to look like for the next 20 years. I have it written down. I can email it to you right now. 20 years. 15 years, 10 years, 5 and 1 year. I have direction. Hear me. I have a 1-year goal. Get this, y'all. I know what I'm trying to accomplish by the end of the month. I know what I want my life to look like in 6 months. I know what I want my businesses to look like, my money to look like, my church to look like. It's all written down, not in my head, but it's written down. I didn't go into 2023 clueless. Write it down and get this. Sometimes you have to make a practice to go back and revisit. It does not mean that you're going to accomplish but it gives you direction. Direction. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to accomplish everything to the T in the timing that you put on the paper, but it gives you direction. So don't be disappointed when you only, out of the 5 goals you had in 2023, you only accomplished 2. That's great. You had direction. Direction gives you focus. Come on, y'all. Number 3, read. Reading improves your communication skills. Reading gives you the opportunity to learn new ideas. Hear me. Do you know where writer's block comes from? It can come from stress. It can come from disappointment in your life. Get this. One of the things that I have noticed that when I read, this is what happens to me. I understand why the Magic School Bus existed. If you are my age, you know about the Magic School Bus. Get this, you all. Reading unlocks imagination. It is one of the most phenomenal ways to kill writer's block. Because out of 8 billion people in the world, you don't know everything. Reading will unlock new ideas. It will give you skills. It will give you information that you did not know. Hear this, and it will unlock possibility. You will start reading. I have literally, y'all, I read, and because how my mind works, I will imagine myself in the circumstance of the person that I'm reading about or what they're saying. And it causes me to think about this thought. I'm doing this. I shouldn't do this. I need to do that. I never thought about it like that. It improves your life. Let me go back to communication skills. Hear me very carefully. The reason people don't do well with communication skills, get this, whether it's grammar, whether it's writing papers, whatever it is because people probably don't read. Reading is essential to your future. Now watch this. In order to read, you need to enjoy or master or learn to enjoy quiet time. Successful people read. Go and look it up. Most successful people read. Now, let me be very clear. I hate reading. But I read because I don't want to be dumb. So I'll sacrifice what I hate because what I hate more is the idea of not being an intelligent individual. So I do what I don't like to do because I want to be more successful than I want to be comfortable. Number 4, where am I? Number 5, don't compromise. Now pause real quickly. Do not compromise. Every person needs to do this. Every person needs to have rules, rituals, and routines. Rules, rituals, routines. Write that down. Rules, rituals, routines. Rules, rituals, routines. And once you have your rules for your life, once you have rituals, once you have routines, don't compromise it. I heard this story. I don't know this guy's name, but I heard this story. He was doing a podcast, and he said he talked about when he started his businesses years ago. He went out to California and he did a consultation with a guy. And so here's a long story short. He goes to California. This guy's a fitness guy. He owns his own gym, A, B, C, and D, and he was doing some coaching. So he's doing some mentorship coaching because this guy wants to go to the next level, make his gym a franchise, on and on and on. So the guy flies out to California, blah, 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 blah. He says he gets there the first day. It was phenomenal. The gym is dope. They went through their coaching session. And then the guys, they said, hey, let's end the guy said, let's end the day and let's get something to eat. And so the client says, I tell you what, he said, I have a better idea. Come to my house. I'll cook a steak for you, A, B, C, and D. So fast forward. He goes to the hotel, relaxes for a minute, then goes to the house, gets to the guy's house at about 7:30. Beautiful house, beautiful, all of these things. And so they eat, they hang out, they have great conversation, and all of a sudden the guy says, hey, I'm about to leave. The guy says, hey, I have a surprise for you. Don't leave yet. So he said, all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and in comes this beautiful blonde-haired girl. And so he said, initially, I thought that it was the guy's wife or girlfriend. And the guy looked at me and nodded his head. Looked at her, looked at me, and nodded his head. And so he was like, oh, Oh, he said, the guy walked up and said, look, we've had a long day. This is the client. She has a business. And I see her from time to time, blah, 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 blah. And I brought her over so she can take care of us. And so the dude said, oh, bro, we ain't about to run no train on this girl. We ain't about to do all that. He said, so you do your thing. This is what he said. He said, I ain't judging. You do your thing. I'm going to go back to the hotel. He said, I came out there for 2 days. He said, the second day, get this. He said, the second day, the guy could not stay awake. He was dumping energy drinks down. He said it was not the same productive day as the first day. He said, and the reason I got myself in the situation is because I compromised. He said, I went against my values. I don't normally go to people's houses. Y'all missed that. Now the snaps. I don't normally go to people's houses, but I found myself in a situation because I compromised my value system. All right, let me talk to you real quickly. Many of us will not be successful because we get caught up in emotionalism. We get caught up in the vibe, and we get caught up in these stupid words like energy. We had good energy. And so hear me, y'all. I don't go to people's houses. This is me. The reason the story stood out to me is because I don't go to people's houses. I'm not coming to your, man, come on, y'all. My circle is narrow. I don't want no friends. Nope. No. It's business. Nope. I don't want no friends. I don't want no brothers. I don't want none of that. I don't go to people's houses. I don't hang out with other preachers, doing all the preacher stuff, doing all that stuff. Like, I have a narrow life, and you will find yourself getting in trouble when you compromise your personal. It's my value. Hear me, y'all. Well, you can do this. You don't have to get this. It's my ritual, rule, and routine. This is an absolute for me. Hear me. If you're going to be successful, what will you not do? Because if you're going to be successful, you have to have some things that you absolutely don't do. And very weak people, because they have to have attention, they have to be loved, they have to be liked, they have to be accepted, they have to have something to do. I don't like to be bored. They will compromise rules, rituals, and routines. And this is what puts us in situations that will cause, we call them distractions. Now this cat is at somebody's house being faced with something that he would have never had to. Now I got to go home and explain that jump to my wife. No, he didn't do anything, but he put himself in a. So get this. Was that trip to California even worth it? No. You wasted my time, but I allowed you to because I compromised my value systems. I know that when I sit down and meet, I'm talking to the successful people. I'm talking to people who got it. Hear me. I know that I'm not going to anyone's house to do a consultation. I know that I meet in this particular environment. It has to look like this. Hear me, y'all. I don't compromise professionalism. I was talking to a group of people yesterday. I was like, well, that's not a meeting. That's the wrong environment to have this type of meeting. If we're trying to get millions of dollars, we don't do it over there. You compromised. Number 6, time management. Now, why is this important? Time is not money. Time is energy. Time is not money. Time is energy. And energy determines how much you accomplish. Energy determines what you accomplish. Energy determines what your failures. Energy determines your stewardship, if you will. Now, what do you mean by that? Time is not money. Time is not money. Time is energy. If I don't steward my time, I will waste energy, and I will not have the focus. I will not have the stamina. I will not have the passion. I will be too stressed to accomplish certain things because I have not managed my time. Hear me, which leads to this. Get rid of busy work. Many of you do not know how to determine what's worth doing or not. Some of you don't know how to say no. So this is why you're always tired. This is why you cannot, people are like, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing results. Well, that's probably because you do stupid stuff. You do stupid stuff. You don't know how to say, I don't do that. I had another meeting and I said, why would you be doing that? If you're going to be the CEO, you don't do those types of things. Because of your position, what you did, you came down and did something that was inevitably, it ended up being a waste of time because it's just not what you do at that level. And you think you're being a servant and you think you're being generous and you're trying to help people out. No, if you're going to be successful, there has to be rules. I don't do that. That's busy work for me. That means I could do it, but it does not land me the results that I need based upon my goals and based upon my position, period. Hear me. If you don't learn how to look at what you have on your table, so if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you say, I have a whole day up ahead of me. Before you start attacking the day, look back at it objectively and say, now, what are the 5 things that I just don't need to do? That if I do it, get this, y'all, if I do it, it's not going to hurt. And if I don't do it, get this and replace it with something else that's more valuable and that will land better results. Get this. So I'll give you a perfect example that I heard this like a couple of years ago and I said, man, I'm going to take that. Some people, you need to say, okay, I don't just wake up throughout the day and grocery shop. I only have one day to grocery shop. Why? Because to just wake up and be like, oh, I need to run to the store. Oh, I need to run to the store. Oh, I need to run to the store. That's 30 minutes of time that you wasted when you could have gotten all your groceries on one day. It's those small things that will cause us to not be able to accomplish certain things. So I get gas on Mondays and Fridays versus just driving around and I got to stop at the store. Oh, I need to go stop at the gas station. Or I need to go grocery shopping. Or I need to do this. You can accomplish more by being a steward of your time. In the kingdom of God, we call it stewardship. In the secular arena, we call it management. Hear me very carefully. If you don't steward your time, you're going to waste energy and you're going to look up at the end of the week, end of the month, and end of the year and say, where did the time go? Time flies. That's one of the things I realized on yesterday as I was reflecting. Time flies, but you are responsible, get this, for knowing where your time went. I'm talking good whether or not you like it. Hear me. Time flies. Where did the time go? Broke people say that. Successful people, they know where it went. Because time is not money, time is energy. And if I don't have the energy, I can't make the money. I can't raise my children. I can't spend time with my wife. Oh, our relationship is falling apart. Probably because everybody's busy. Probably because you did not steward the time well. Probably because we're so busy and we're so tired that we cannot have sex. We cannot go out. We cannot have conversations. We're too tired. A, B, C, and D. So hear me. Whatever your definition of success is, my children grew so fast. A, B, C, and D. Yes, we know that. But we are responsible for managing that time. So get this. It's easy to be presented with busy work in life. Y'all ever know when you supervise, you can tell, y'all know, y'all are professional people. So, you go to work and you be like, why the freak are we doing this stupid junk? Well, get this. That's how you should be looking at life. Why am I doing that? This is busy work. Do I have to do that? Do I have to meet that long? Do I have to go over there? A, B, C, and D. It can get done. Get this. Okay, maybe I have to do it, but do I have to do it today? Is it Hear me. Know the difference between 911s, 711s, and 411s, and not making 411s and 711s 911s. What's important? What's imperative? Stop saying yes to everything. That's why your time gets away from you. It is not arrogance to say, you know what? Hey, I don't do that anymore. That's for them because I have this level of work I have to attend to. Number 7 or 8, take risk. Take risk. You have to take risk. Hear me very carefully. Everybody's talking about, I want to be an investor. Well, you know you don't. You know why? Because investing is risk taking. Hear this, you all, that you will never grow. You will never defeat fear. This is how you know people who are always afraid. They are safe people. They love to be comfortable and they're safe. Because when you're always afraid, what it says is that you do not put yourself in risk-taking environments, that no one is great. Do y'all know this? That not one person is great and it was guaranteed. Think about that. Another one. No person is great. No person is successful, and their greatness and their success was guaranteed. At some point, if you're going to accomplish bigger, if you're going to live outside of reality, and you're going to go for things that are impossible, hear me, there's no way you're going to live a life comfortable. I use this example. I'm a swimmer. I am a swimmer, and I'm a pretty good one. So get this, you all. Don't miss this. There's no way that I have any business as a swimmer hanging out in the 3 feet. I just jump in. And you will not be able to soar, to accomplish, to scale, to win. You won't ever be able to do any of those things if you are always playing it safe. Hear me, y'all. Fear of what people are going to think. Fear of messing up. Okay, hear me. You will mess up. I preach 52 weeks out of the year, whether it's Wednesday or Sunday. 52. Okay. On top of that, you got to get in front of people. You may be invited somewhere. You might have to do a live or ABC and D. Let me tell you what you're going to do if you do it that much. Imagine the guys that I've been preaching since I was 20 years old, 20 or 21. All right. Been preaching since I did my first sermon. I think I was 20. Yeah. My first official sermon. I started practicing when I was about 18 in front of my group. There's no way you're going to get up in front of people that long, that many times a year, and not say something wrong, not mispronounce a word, not say something offensive. There's no way you're going to become an expert. And an expert is classified, one way to define an expert is someone that's been doing something for it. They've done something 10,000 hours. There's no way you're going to become an expert at anything, doing it consistently and not mess up, not have an embarrassing moment, not fail. Hear me, y'all. I can't kill my sermon every Sunday. I can't kill it every Wednesday. Some sermon's going to be a 10. Some sermon's going to be a 5. Some sermon's going to be an 8. Some sessions I do going to be a 10. Some sessions going to be, oh my God, listen, I mean, you do this all the time. You have a leadership session, or you have a training session, or you have a sermon session, and people are like, that need to be a book. That need to go all over the world. All right. Then next week, people say it was good. That's the trajectory of success. That you're going to have some dope moments. You're going to have Michael Jordan said, I have missed more shots than I've made. So people who don't take risk, they'll never be successful. Hear me, y'all. Taking the risk does not mean that you're going, the objective of taking the risk is not to be successful. It's to learn. It's to kill all signs of weakness in you, all signs of fear. Hear me, y'all. Taking the risk means this: I may fail, and that's okay. If you don't apply, if you don't try school, if you don't try to do the investment, if you don't try to take the class, if you don't start the project because you may fail, if that's why you're not doing it, you're not ready to be successful. You're only ready to be successful when being successful and failure, y'all ready, are equal to you. The value of both of them are equal. And many people don't accomplish because they think that they have to win every game. Well, you have no business playing if you have to win every game. No, the value of failing is equal to the value of winning. And some people would say the value of failing is more valuable than winning. You need to learn how to take risks.